So I'm here at Havas. I can't wait. I'm going to meet this guy called Jonathan, and he was a Slenky last year, and he does editing like I do, and it's going to be real cool. I might meet some other cool guys. It's going to be really cool. I'm really excited. Can't wait. So can you tell me how you did the transition from being a Slencaster last year to working in the industry now?
Well, I guess starting off with Slenky was like after winning the competition, you got a lot of opportunities, doors open for you for different companies. I started working with a company in Hammersmith. What was it? The Look was one company. Went to the BFI Film Festival, met a few BBC directors, and yeah, I mean, got a few connects with quite a few people. So I guess the transition started off with me doing a lot of work and meeting people and finally getting your foot into like the industry. And then I mean the end result was like sitting here now doing work that you see in front of you.
And can you tell me if it was a tough transition from becoming a Slenky to?
I wouldn't say it was tough. I'd say it was more adventurous because you never knew who you was going to meet next, or you never knew what was going to happen next or what was going to happen in the end. So I guess it's more adventurous. It's more strange because you don't know, you're going into a world that you've never really been into before. Yeah. So it's a change really.
Okay, and another thing is how do you respond to deadlines, and how do you keep on track with your deadlines?
I guess if you get deadlines now, the best way I do now is try and get everything settled straight away. Or get like a baseline to whatever it is. So if someone's giving you a task, so for this, the second I got the footage, I went home and straight away started on it because I know there's no point in me leaving it somewhere and then dealing with it 2 days later. Because 2 days later I might forget because I've got something else to do, and like that it'll start to pile up. So the best way to do it is just to chop it out from the beginning and just nip it in the bud. I think if you stay like that, you can always be on top of things because you've always got work to go back to. It's like if you start 3 days later and you're behind, the catch up is such a bother to catch up because you've got so much things on. But if you start from the second you have like the moment to, it is hard work. Don't get me wrong, and it can drain you if you're busy and you have got stuff to do. But it's part of like working, isn't it? It's that you have to do the hard stuff first.
Sitting isn't particularly a 9 to 5 kind of job, isn't it? It's.
I guess it depends on your work rate. How you're editing and what you're doing. I freelance a lot of work, so for me it's not really 9 to 5. It's more like 9 to 9.
Okay.
Or sometimes during the night. So depending on how you work, I like to work long hours. I like to just sit down and just
get it done.
Yeah, get it out. Yeah. And one thing will usually lead me to the next. So I guess 9 to 5. There's no real set time for it. Yeah, giving it a time scale is hard to say.
So your only times are this is your starting and this is your
finish. Yeah, from when you wake up, if you feel inspired to keep editing or keep shooting, you go straight away. If you're not really, I guess it's your own work ethic, isn't it?
Yeah. And have you have you edited anything that had a really tight kind of deadline that you felt it was quite difficult?
I think I did one for I did a short film for PRS for Music. I did a video for them, and it was quite tight. I had to get it, I think, shot and edited, and sound was supposed to be perfect in like 5 days.
Wow.
Which is, from when you shoot in as well, it is a tight schedule. So I think I got through everything quite quickly, but it was hard because obviously doing it on your own as well is another thing. If you're working with a team, I guess it lessens what kind of workload you have. But I was doing sound, colour and film, plus the edit. So it was a lot of work.
When you're an editor, do you just focus on certain parts in the film? So for example, like the storyline or the special effects, the sound, or as an editor, do you deal with it all usually?
As an editor, I guess you probably your best bet is to be jack of all trades and just know a little bit of everything at least. I guess that's what I've come across anyway. There's no point, I mean, with me saying that I can tell you more about After Effects, but I mean, you know, having like knowing how to use sound and knowing how to work on like colouring does help, because I mean, I'm not a specialist in colouring, but I know what looks right and what doesn't look right, and I think I understand the psychology behind most colours.
Yeah.
But knowing that is part of being an editor, isn't it? I mean, you can't edit to like a whim. You have to really have like some kind of idea behind what you're doing.
So you just have to focus on your brief, obviously, but
Yeah.
then, I mean, you can kind of...
You kind of chop between the two of them. I mean, you have a brief to set on what you should be doing, but then it's your own creative input that makes it the brief, isn't it?
And how much of your own creative input can you put in certain projects?
I guess it varies from project to project, because with this one, I guess it was a lot more open to what I could do, given the intro and stuff. But I've been on projects where I mean, it was pretty much set from beginning to end, where it has to be A, B, C.
Yeah.
And you can't really intertwine between like other things if you want to keep it really simple.
And another thing is, how do you actually keep all the files and everything, all the raw footage, organised? Because
This is a hard. I I actually have 4 hard drives. This is 1 of 4. This is how it starts. I put all the footage so on a shoot, all the footage I get as I'm getting it, I'll back it up on the laptop first.
Okay.
Put it onto 1 hard drive in a folder named the time, the date, whatever the shoot was called, into 1 folder. Then when I get home, put 1 folder onto the first hard drive, then copy it again onto a second hard drive, and then copy it again onto a third, and then leave the last one. And then the last one is literally if I'm on site and I have to bring a hard drive with me, I'll take it with me, just to save in case something goes wrong with the laptop, something goes wrong with the hard drive. But the 3 I have are literally just for backup.
So you have 3 different backups, not including the computer?
Not including the computer, no.
And then you also have a backup
And then I have a backup hard
drive.
drive after that, yeah. It is safety first, because I mean, I went through, even uni, I was doing projects where I was doing work for people plus work for myself, and I've had times where I've just dropped a hard drive, and that's it.
God.
Yeah, it's completely, and you know what I mean, it's not that I'm doing it because I'm crazy, it's just because I can't afford like a mistake, and I really don't like having stuff go wrong. Yeah, I'd say having a backup is the best piece of information I could give you.
So you would never use like the cloud or anything?
No, I wouldn't use the cloud. I don't think you could use the cloud, to be fair, because most of our footage does come out in like, you know, large file sizes. Especially if you're shooting in RAW, it's not that it's impossible. It's more time consuming, I guess, to have the cloud do it all for you and then have to drag it all back. When you could lose so much. Yeah, I mean, it does make sense to carry that instead of one of these hard drives. It's probably a lot safer, to be fair, but for me, the practicality of it, I guess, is not really appealing.
So I've just come out of Havas, and it was great to meet Jonathan. And I think the one big thing that I can really take from this is you can never have too many backups when you're dealing with editing. And I think there's been a lot of inspirational points as well that Jonas has mentioned to me. So I'm really happy. A little tired, but all in the day's job.
My name's Ace. I'm a Slanker at Slenky. If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far and want to see more inspirational videos, then subscribe now.